And you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go! Friday show, April 26, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, the Fox local app if you are watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, part of the over 64,000 subscribers on this platform, we say hello to you, good day, and Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
It is truly a good afternoon. As you see, I'm rocking the gang, green, white, and black because I get a chance to do the New York Jets pick. But enough about that for right now. You know what? I woke up today at the hotel downtown. The weather was nice. The sun was shining. Hit my brother Ryan Ermanni up. I said, hey, Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan sends me a picture, shows me where he's at in Harts Plaza. I'm downtown, brother. Why don't I pop on over? And the rest is history. Got the chance to kick it with myself, my boy Mariel, Fox 2, great times, Hart Plaza, the experience. And then I ran into Lily Mazaway, Tom Mazaway's beautiful eldest daughter at Michigan State. So
Thanks,
it has been a very,
Look at that.
Here's a picture right here. Appreciate that, Pete. It's been a very fun morning. I had a chance to represent the family, which is Ermanni and Edwards Maz.
So, Maz, I don't remember what I texted you about. I don't remember. Oh, I remember what I texted you about. I said, I'm down in Hart Plaza today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on doing live shots for 12 hours. And I think I'm going to get to the show at about 1:57, 1:58. I'll be...
Give or take a minute.
I'll come in ready to go, but I'm going to be here just before 2 o'clock because I'm at Hart Plaza. He says, oh, Lily's down there, his daughter. So I'm looking around it because when I was there, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the only people. It's kind of cool, actually.
She had to be there around 8:30.
Yeah, you got the whole place to yourself. And then I see Lily Mazaway, and so I go say hi to her. We have a great talk, and she was at where you do a Hail Mary kind of thing. And so I go do the Hail Mary, and then all of a sudden, 2, 3, 4 hours later, I get a picture from Maz. Look, it's Lily and Maz. Or it's Lily and Bray. I was like, she didn't ask me for a picture. But then she came back. Yeah. I was razzing her a little bit, and she took a
felt
picture
so
with me.
bad. She went, oh, Dad,
No.
I was with them. Oh. You know what? Fox 2 even talked to her in the what do they call it, the 11?
Live at 11.
Live at 11.
Look at that.
How about that, huh?
Do we have that?
Yeah,
Let's
we
take
do.
a look.
It's not the best quality, but it's
Take
good.
a look.
Yeah, the quality is kind of bad.
Right here, she is an NFL manager, area manager here. She's working in the gallery. Talk to us a little bit. First of all, what was it like out here yesterday? Was it insane?
Wow, words can't even describe how crazy it was down here yesterday. I mean, especially following this past Lions season. It's so amazing to see Detroit so lively and so packed, and everyone's so passionate down here. It's been amazing, honestly.
I imagine that this was probably a very busy exhibit yesterday. It catches your eye right off the bat with these chrome helmets right behind us. Talk to us a little bit about the gallery, if you could.
Yeah, so this is a spot for people to come in and try and get a little bit of the NFL experience, kind of like trying to mimic the NFL Hall of Fame a little bit. We got the lockers all here for all 32 NFL teams, kind of showing a game day display of what goes into the lockers, and we got the bedazzled helmets, and it's kind of a little bit about the experience here.
What a great opportunity for fans who, some people can never even go to a football field, let alone inside a locker room. And here they are on display in all of their glory. This is eye-catching right here, Lily. What is this?
So this is the tunnel experience where you as a fan get to feel what it's like to walk through a tunnel on a game day. We have all the different highlight clips of different players and coaches, and it's a really fun area over here for sure.
Yeah,
Maz,
Lil.
I just got to tell you, Maz, I got a chance
She's
to talk.
great.
She's amazing. I had the chance to talk to Lily at the NFL Experience right there at the where she interviewed at. Talk to her, Maz. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of you because I met her, 4 years ago, essentially, and to watch where she's gone from there to now. Like, she's a grown woman. She's a manager of that area. She's an area manager, so I got a chance to talk to her. It was just fun. I'm watching this girl grow up, man, and she loves her dad so much, man.
Thank you, bro.
Love them, proud of you. Ryan.
She loves those Lions.
Oh,
She
yeah.
does. She
Loves
doesn't
those
play
Lions.
about the Lions. So I took a picture in front of the metallic helmets. Took one in front of the Jets helmet.
Man.
She said, "You don't want one in front of the Lions helmet?" These are the fun helmets. So, man, I thought this was fun. Every team I played
love that,
for.
Bray.
You got the Jets, San Fran.
That's
you got the
so
49ers.
great, Bray.
Obviously, it's one team I was like, No, I'm just joking. But it's fun. It's the NFL experience, and I'm proud that I had the chance to.
What have I always
play.
asked you? Why did you not bring a helmet home from each team that you were with? I cannot get over that.
Because the end is never fun.
I don't care.
When you're in the moment, too, I have to believe
The end,
that
the
it's
end
like,
isn't fun. Like,
Yeah, I guess
obviously,
you're
I
right.
left. You see, remember how I left Cleveland? It wasn't a trade.
Yeah.
I didn't like Cleveland at the time. I go to the Jets. The Jets don't bring me back. I still have my Jets helmet. But then, San Fran, Seattle, it's always about how you left. But Ryan, you talked about the NFL experience. You talked about the Hail Mary,
Right.
the 3 different passes. Well, I got a chance to do that. Pete, throw the video up there.
Oh, we got
Here we
video.
go.
Did you get it? Yeah, you did.
Uh-oh.
I got it.
Oh,
on
yeah.
tape.
Just, let me say, here we
Oh,
go.
you should have played quarterback.
That's
Another
2.
one.
Just saying.
Uh-oh.
And the trifecta.
Uh-oh.
Damn! And the trifecta.
You're better than Mark Sanchez, bro.
With the
walk-off.
walk-off. With the walk-off like Ryan and Ermanni.
Walk-off.
So just to let you know, I probably was the best quarterback I ever had.
Unbelievable.
I'm just joking.
And Rick
you.
Spielman. Don't forget
Rich Spielman, man. He got me drafted 3rd overall.
That's
I
it.
take him.
You know, part of this, too, obviously over 275,000 fans on day 1, night 1 of the NFL draft. That's
Break
a
a record.
record. You obviously have heard that by now. That's a record for day 1. Last year in Kansas City, 300,000 people for the entire week came. And then Nashville has the record of 600,000 fans for the weekend. They're looking for Detroit to blow that out of the water. I think just
Detroit
based
shine.
on just based
look
on
at
what you have already down there, I think you'll have more people there today than even yesterday. Or very close. I think over 250,000 people today, which would be an incredible day 2 situation.
Ryan and Ermanni, it's funny. My girl, we watched the show yesterday at the hotel. We were watching the interview. By the way, outstanding job by you on the fly. I got to give you a lot of love for that. The Alex interview, great job. But she was like, why do you always say his full name? I said, I don't know. It's the Italian, man. It sounds good when you roll it all together. But you can say, you know what, last night was the first round, so everybody wants to see Caleb. You want to see the number 2 pick overall. You want to see the quarterback situations. You wanted to see your team, the Lions, who we'll get into. But on day 2, now it's Friday. Now it's closer to the weekend. Now people may not have been able to make it Thursday. They can make it on Friday, and they can stay to Saturday. So you're absolutely correct. It probably will be the same number. Like, I don't see there being a big drop-off. I think you see 275 exactly, and probably even more because it is Friday. It is still the second round, and everybody had a darn good time.
And the weather's gorgeous.
Well, that's absolutely Maz, part of it.
That's the winner.
And I think when you look at it on TV last night, Maz, you were down there. Great job down there for the
Thank
pregame
you.
show. Shout out to Neil Rule, who is, as you look up pro in the dictionary,
Yeah.
and I know we always kind of have our back and forth between shows,
It's
and we
fun,
do
as
all
you
that.
should.
We
and all
bust
that
each other's
stuff.
chops.
Bust each other's chops. Neil Rule is about as big of a pro as you could possibly have. Put
Yeah.
that guy in any situation, and he will thrive.
Yep.
Agreed.
And I'm really glad he got a chance to shine last night on our show. He got a chance to shine during Oakland University's run, during the play-by-play. He is absolutely fantastic. And this
DCFC,
network,
the Golden Tongue.
DCFC, and this network is should be proud to have a guy like that, so committed and everything like that.
The
So
boys
shout
in the
out to
back,
you, Neil
boys
Rule.
in the back did a great job.
Absolutely.
Noah and Ryan Lentz,
No doubt.
fabulous. Brady, great job. Griffin, phenomenal. JB was out there. Stick, Pete. Who am I missing, Pete? Kenny B was
Right.
Kenny G was there.
I had something pop up last minute, and those guys, man, they really took over.
Yep.
And then shout out to Neil, shout out to you, Maz. You were up there for a while too, so great stuff by all who were there. I wanted to say just about watching it on TV though. If you were at home watching it last night on TV, don't you want to go down there today? Don't you want to be part of
Yeah.
it? if and because the weather is that much better,
Yeah, man.
they're like, yeah, man, I'm going to go down there. I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And I think it was. Now they shut downtown down yesterday at around what 6:30.
About 6.
I got that alert and I was like, oh boy. There's no way I'm getting down there, even if I was able to get down there late. Now, I don't know how many people came after that or not, or what the ease of.
If you go by Comerica Park, the Fox Theater District, you could have gone there pretty easily.
Oh, okay.
But once you get past the Theater District is where it all backs up.
100%.
So if you want that part of it, great. Now, if you want the Hart Plaza part of it, that's what I want to do because I want to go see my kid.
You got to come up live.
So I got to go a different way to go get that part.
I'll tell you what to do on that. You take 75 to the Howard exit.
That's what Braylon told me.
That's what I said.
That's the old Greyhound bus exit.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You get in the Cobo Roof.
Okay.
Cobo Roof is in, when I left this morning, it was about half full. Now, what's it going to be?
It's going to be full.
It's going to be full, maybe, but there are people in and out of there.
Yep.
People that got there the early show.
I really think the Cobo Roof cost me $20
That's
this morning.
perfect.
You know what I mean? Cobo Roof was good. You go down, entry point 2 is right there, and you're like,
that's where Hart Plaza.
that's where Hart Plaza is.
And is it they get you there, but with the fences and all?
You're waiting in a nice line.
Yeah, of course.
You're absolutely waiting in a nice line. But I also talked to a Detroit police officer this morning. I think one of the best parts about last night, no problems.
Oh,
Yeah.
None.
those two people are having a great time.
Absolutely. I think that's a testament to the people of Detroit.
It is.
Law enforcement, they weren't going to deal with any nonsense down there. And the NFL, we talk so much about, the fences and the gates and the entry points and this, that, and the other thing. Guys, it's kind of what you have to do to make sure that event is safe. Is it not?
No doubt.
Extremely excited
Did a
about
great
it,
job.
From last night, Maz, and that's what I was going to touch on. I actually was thinking about putting out a tweet or an X or whatever you want to call it today or tomorrow, just in terms of the people that are working downtown, they volunteered.
Yep.
Like they volunteered their time to be a part of Detroit so people can get a positive representation of the city, and that's what you're getting. Me and my girl were down there earlier today. We saw you, Ryan. We were just purposely talking to some of these volunteers, purposely asking directions from officers and from the fire department just to kind of see what the reaction was. Now, once they realized who I was, they were asking me why the hell I needed the information direction. They're so nice. They're so giving with the information. They took their time. The people are smiling. They're making you ingratiated to it. I had a chance to ride down the elevator this morning with some Bengals fans. So sparked up a random conversation. I'm a guy from Detroit. I want to see how my city is doing. Say, hey, you guys are, go Bengals. I said, Joe Burrow's back this year.
Yes,
he sparked
sir.
the conversation. And then I said, how are you liking the city of Detroit so far? How's the event going? They said, everybody's been great, man. The food has been great. The people have been kind. It's nice. There's been no issues. Obviously, Detroit has a reputation. They said there's been no issues. We haven't seen anything. Like, this is Ohio. Ohio hates Michigan.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of me talking to some guys from the Bengals. So you see that the city is doing the right thing. And to your point, cops aren't playing those games. Yeah. Cops they're making sure they got the dogs out, sniffing and smelling for things. They're on every corner. They're having conversations. You don't want to start any problems in Detroit around this time because our boys and women in blue, they're with the you-know-what.
If you guys want to go see our show tonight, you can get downtown. It's right behind Comerica Park and the church there on Witherell off of Woodward and Adams Street, right in the tin roof parking lot.
Yeah.
You can't miss it. It's the big tent there. Hop in, see the guys. We're going to be on starting, I think, at 7 o'clock tonight.
Are you going down tonight?
Maybe a little early. I was thinking about it, but we only have one pick tonight.
Right.
But my kid, Abby's coming home from Grand Rapids. She wants to go, so I know we're all going to go tomorrow.
Right.
So I got to pick and choose, see what's going on. I went to Comerica this morning.
I saw that
I
post.
went in. I watched a little batting practice because
Uh-huh.
I couldn't stay for the game.
Right.
And I just freaking love going to that ballpark.
I'll tell you, I was downtown this morning, obviously, and that's why I'm.
A lot of people's going to the game today.
That's why I'm dressed in my uniform.
Yeah, you look good, brother.
Thanks. Yeah. And I wanted to do nothing more with my life.
Just go to the game.
Than just to go to the Tigers game and sit
I
there.
wish we could have done our show from the stands.
Eat a hot dog
from
and
the
sit
stands.
in that stand.
That would have been great.
You know, what a day. I'm surprised it's not as packed as I thought it would be.
It might be a late arriving crowd. Tomorrow night, Dan Dickerson bobblehead night, you'll have 40,000 people in standing room only.
No doubt.
And Sunday's game will be crowded as well in the afternoon. All these people hanging out, they got to go to the game.
Well, Saturday's draft ends at about 5.
Correct. It's perfect time.
So then you can kind of go over. I think tomorrow's going to be great too.
It will. 80 degrees tomorrow, 75, 80 degrees.
Absolutely.
Half the people that were downtown, well, not half the people, more than half the people aren't even from the city of Detroit. They were talking about going to these Tiger games. They were so excited. You know, ran into some fans from LSU that I saw the night before. They were like, hey, I was like, where you guys going? Going to the Tigers game. We're going to see the Royals game. I'm like, are you Tigers fans or baseball fans?
Yeah.
You know, we like sports, but it's nice. It's nice outside. It's a nice stadium. Like, people are excited to go to Comerica Park. But it's also a great thing, Ryan, and we can get into when your team is good.
Yep.
Like, when your team is good and the Detroit Lions are good, get to the MC Championship last night, there's no jokes about your team. The excitement is in the air about your team. It's a true validated city because of how good the Lions are. And last night, they showed up and they showed out.
All right, let's talk a little football, guys.
I called it.
You did, and I'll give you all the credit in the world. God bless you, Tom Mazaway. You absolutely did.
I know they weren't going to let us down. I knew it.
You know, when I started doing the math about these offensive players and the quarterbacks, it just felt like the Lions would trade up. And I thought so after thinking about it. I never really even considered it until Maz, you said so. You said something about it. And then between you and the board, you start thinking to yourself, they need one or two players. They probably need definitely one impact player on defense. And they could use some depth at wide receiver and offensive line. And if that play, they don't need 6 or 7 guys like they have needed in the past. There's no roster spots for them.
Nope.
There's just not. So if you could get a defensive player, move up and get a defensive player just on how the board fell, they got the number 1 corner on their board last night.
That's something.
They got the number 1 corner on their board last night at 24.
They got a hell of a kid. I love this guy already, and I haven't seen him play it down in Honolulu blue and silver yet. How do you not love Terrion Arnold?
You love him. And the crowd absolutely loved him. Take a listen to this. The Lions posted this. This is what the crowd's reaction was when the Lions traded up and selected Terrion Arnold. I mean,
I got the chills, man.
can you even believe it?
Man.
Biggest pop in draft night history.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%, man. It was loud. It was so crazy. We were at Ford Field watching the draft. There was an NFL Legends viewing event that I went to. So we're at Ford. We can hear it in Ford Field. So we're watching on TV, but we can hear the eruption when the pick happened, when the trade happened. And it's just amazing, the electricity. But, Maz, I feel like got to give you all the credit in the world. You said that they would go up. You said there was nothing else they would do. They were going to go up. You never said they would stay. You never said they would go back. You said they should stand. So got to give you all the credit. But in the workings, we all kind of were right. Because once you started talking, then I said, look, if they're going to go up, then they got to go get that guy that's going to be a guy that can help change. They got to get that guy that's going to be a guy that's ready now to take over now, corner. To be a move now. Corner was a position, and then
you know what? If they traded up, it's going to be for a corner,
right?
And then
I gave you 2 picks, corner or D line. You pick corner,
and then when you start breaking down the averages, okay, well these are 6 quarterbacks. Get this off the board.
Bowers,
and
offensive line.
And you start doing that, and then you start doing. Well, there are only 5 first-round grade defensive players. Right. The Lions are gonna get one. I think starting with you, Maz. We all kind of got to this pick, and it ended up being Terrion Arnold, maybe not Quinyon Mitchell, but also, where's he come from?
Can I just say,
Bama.
1 second?
Go ahead.
If the Lions wanted Quinyon Mitchell,
they would have got Quinyon.
They would have traded up and gotten him, by the way. This is the number 1 defensive back on their board.
He is a Lion.
Yeah.
You know, and 2 things. 1, Bama guy, Nick Saban guy. Did you see how happy Nick Saban was?
Oh, my God, I heard him.
I've never seen Nick Saban so happy about a pick, so happy in a moment about one of his players. He was extremely excited. Thing 2, you talk about him being one of these Lions players. Did you see the video right after they drafted him? And he talks about, he went back to his high school teacher who believed in him, and he told him, I'm going to come back one day with my Alabama jersey, I'm going to sign it for you, and I'm going to go get drafted in the NFL.
It was the janitor.
It was a janitor.
Yep.
Ryan went back to the school, to the janitor, gave him that, and the guy said, I don't deserve this. He said, no, I don't deserve you. That's the kind of guy. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes love. Like you said, he's already a Lion, and he's ready to play.
This was the perfect selection for the Detroit Lions. You couldn't draw it up
I'm
any
so
better.
geeked.
Wow.
You couldn't draw it up any better if you could have kind of written a script for how last night went for the Detroit Lions to target that player and get that player. Here's the phone call when the Lions called Arnold and told him he was going to be a Detroit Lion.
Brad Holmes, GM of Detroit Lions. How you doing, man? You ready to be a Lion? Ready to see your boy BB again? All right, my man. Congratulations, man. You're gonna turn your car in right here, all right? Hey, let me get you on the phone with our head coach, Dan Campbell, all right?
Terrion. Hey, congratulations. Hey, we're excited to have you. You come in here and compete. Help us out. You know what I mean? All right, brother, we're fired up. Hey, I'm going to pass you over to our owner, all right? Sheila Hamp. Here she is.
Yes.
Have a big excitement in the background.
Had a baby.
We're looking forward to getting you here. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
You know why you don't see this with every team, Ryan, Ermanni, and Maz? Because if you notice, the Detroit Lions front office, their war room, after almost every pick, there's a level of excitement. Obviously, I'm a little bit higher than others, but there's always a level of shaking hands. There's clapping. You see the jackets flapping. They're getting excited a little bit. Big guys in the room. You know why? Because a lot of war rooms, they're picking who other people tell them is the guy. They're picking who other analysts tell them, hey, this is who they should pick. These are the available talents. This is the top available talent for your pick. These are the guys at this team. You know what? This team needs such and such player to get to the next level. Or this is the guy that can put them over. The Lions don't listen to that. That's why every time they make a pick, they're excited because it's their guy. It's the guy that they vetted. It's the process they went through. It's the guy that they've been watching on film and they've been keeping a close eye on. That's why they're always excited. It's not because they're blowing smoke or trying to overly sell you on a point. When they were that excited about Jahmyr Gibbs, were they right? When they were excited about Brian Branch, were they right? When they were that excited about Penei Sewell, were they right?
Hell yeah.
They're this excited because they're getting the players that they've researched that they want, not who someone's telling them they should draft.
Not only that, you just saw the video, the inside of the Lions War Room. This was last night, NFL Network. You're going to see the Lions War Room, but you'll hear them talking about the guy they're going to pick, Terrion Arnold.
And they've drafted to that vision and played to that vision. And Terrion Arnold fits exactly what we're talking about. Remember last year when they moved up for Gibbs at 12, they were criticized. Jack Campbell, the linebacker late in the first round, criticized. But they knew that's what they wanted in a ball player. And that turned out well for them. They have the same feeling about Terrion Arnold.
That's why Brad Holmes is my boy. You see what shoes he was wearing in the video.
Is that what he was wearing?
He was wearing the Panda Dunks. Shout out to my boy.
Hey,
Brad
by the
Holmes.
way, you see those other war rooms?
Boring. Stiff as hell.
No, what I'm saying, though, is it felt like the Lions meant business. They got like 10 guys in there.
Yeah.
These other places, 20, 30 people in their war room.
Yeah.
What do you need all that many people for? No, this isn't cocktail hour.
Well, maybe they did what you want to do. Maybe they auctioned off some people. Hey, you want to come in and watch us?
True.
You want to be in that war room?
Fair enough.
All right.
All right. One aspect, and don't hurt me too bad.
No,
this.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Okay, put me on the pedestal with you.
Don't hurt me too bad for this. This is the actual pick for Terrion Arnold last night. Then I got one thing to say about it. Please forgive me.
The Dallas Cowboys have traded the 24th pick to the Detroit Lions. With the 24th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Terrion Arnold, defensive back, Alabama.
And he's going to be here in person. And one of the most electric players on the field with a personality to match is going to come out on this stage.
All right. Now listen to me. Listen to me.
Don't get in trouble.
Listen to me.
Hold on. Let me start. She did a nice job.
She did a great job.
She did.
Man, you're funny. You want to get that out the way.
Listen, she did a great job. I swear to you, she did a great
She did.
job.
Better than Roger, actually.
Listen, and it happened to JJ as well. It happened to JJ
Yep.
McCarthy as well. and we'll get to him in a minute. God bless him. Perfect situation.
Amen.
But
called that.
If I'm being selected in the first round of the NFL draft, I think I just want the commissioner to say my name. I don't know. And is that a big deal? I mean,
yes, it's a big deal.
I just think these players have worked so freaking hard. Their entire life's work has been culminated on that stage that night. They have worked so hard not only to be in the NFL, but to be drafted in the NFL. And not only drafted in the NFL, but drafted in the first round. I think in the first round, you just save it for the commissioner. Everything else after that, Braylon, you're making the pick for the Jets tonight in the third round. Like
that's great.
That's great. You want a veteran to make the pick in the second round? Great. Like, I feel like if I was a player, I would prefer if I could hear my name be called by the commissioner. That's it. Am I being a jerk?
No, you're not.
100%.
And let me, as a person that's been on both sides, I've been called and I've called someone. You dream of walking that stage. And when you dream of walking the stage, you dream of walking the stage and shaking the commissioner's hand. Or nowadays, heck, they're picking the commissioner up. They got handshakes and personal signs that they're doing. So, but that's the moment you dream of. I always dreamed of shaking Paul Tagliabue's hand when I walked across that stage, and I got that opportunity. If I would have walked across that stage and I would have had to shake Eric Metcalf's hand for the Cleveland Browns or Bernie Kosar, love Bernie Kosar. I love Jim Brown, and you could go no wrong with arguably the greatest football player of all time. That's not the hand that I thought about shaking. I thought about shaking Paul Tagliabue. For these new guys, they think about whatever they're going to do with the commish. They're going to pick him up or, like I said, do a handshake. So to not have that, I wouldn't have been mad because you're so happy in the moment, but I would have thought about it later on, like, dang, I wish I would have got that moment. With that being said, it has nothing to do with her being women in the flag football league in high school. Heck, it could have been a Michigan Wolverine up there. It could have been whoever. It could have been Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think Terrion Arnold would have preferred it if it would have been Roger Goodell. I agree with you. As a player and a picker, if they would have asked me to do the Jets' first pick, wouldn't have felt right. I wouldn't have wanted to go up there and say in the first round the Jets picked Olu Fashanu was the offensive line guy. It wouldn't have felt right. I wanted him to have his moment. But second, third, not a problem.
I thought Roger was drunk last night. I'm really realizing that he had back surgery.
Back surgery, yeah.
He was on medication, and because he sounded like he was drunk or he was almost pre-stroke.
I didn't think he was drunk. I knew about the back surgery.
I didn't know, so I apologize to you, Commissioner.
I knew about the back surgery, so he was a little ginger.
Yeah.
Like he walked gingerly on the stage, and that's why only one person.
The lineman from Alabama.
Yeah, they were like, oh, because they said don't pick him up. No big bear hugs. You can hug him, but no big bear hugs.
But I said it. When I saw the kids up there with Roger, and one of the girls from Bishop Foley was up there. Mr. Barnes, Coach Barnes' daughter was up there. My daughter could have been up there because she didn't play flag football last year, which we yelled at her for. But maybe she'll learn now. So I was happy about that. But I'm with you, man. It's the first round of the playoffs. It's the first round of the draft. Just do it professionally all the way through. We don't need all the extra stuff. We know the NFL, you got to kiss this one. You got to kiss this one. You got babies to kiss. You got people to take care of. Do it in the second and third and fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh rounds. Not in the first round. It's got to be the commissioner.
Absolutely. Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, you will hear from Brad Holmes. We will also talk to our WSN Lions beat reporter, Matt Broder, live from Allen Park. Amon-Ra had a press conference today. They were introduced Terrion Arnold as well. We'll talk to Matt Broder all about that coming up next. But first, message from Figer Law.
All right, fellas, and thanks to Figer Law, one of our sponsors last night for our draft party. After an accident, people need to hire a lawyer more than any other time. So make Figer Law your first call. 1-800-A-WINNER, 1-800-A-WINNER. Their team of trial lawyers will get you the money you deserve. Who are you going to call? Figer Law. All we do is win.
Planet Fitness, because your fitness is essential and they still realize that. That's why they only charge you $10 a month to go there. Only $10, you say, It is only $10, and now it's home of the judgment-free zone. So go in, work out at your own pace, do your own way. Nobody's judging you. They're letting you be you because they're going to do themselves and be them. Also, you know what? It's a squeaky clean gym anymore. Not just clean. It's squeaky clean. Come on down to Planet Fitness, $10 a month because your fitness is essential.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Want to get in a new ride this summer? Hey, maybe you want to buy something that's been pre-owned. Look no further than Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. All 4 GM brands under one umbrella now. Buick GMC store in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Chevy Cadillac located in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
And you can drive on over to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. You can walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Y'all got to start, man. Hey, I'm home, man. I'm home. Hey, these fans gonna be crazy, man. Golly.
Detroit, man. I'm happy to be a Lion. And all I want to say is we're going to get to work. We're going to go get that Super Bowl. I mean, the city, the fans, it's amazing. The culture, it's a great atmosphere. When I walked out there on the stage, I could just feel it. I could feel the energy. So I'm ready to play in the stadium. And just want to let y'all know, man. Like I always say, y'all got to start, man. Fan favorite for sure.
I was so happy last night I slept with my hat on, man. One pride. Went to sleep last night a Lion, woke up a Lion. One pride, man. Let's get to work.
So let's talk about Terrion Arnold, the player, and what he brings to the
I think he's the best corner in the draft. Fluid and smooth. Reminds me a lot of Jalen Johnson. The testing numbers were very similar. Jalen Johnson just got $20 million a year during this offseason. Press man, here he is working against McConnell.
Oh, there you go. Terrion Arnold. Welcome back. Woodward Sports Network, the newest Detroit Lion. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Masway. We got Matt Broder as well from Allen Park. How you doing, Matt?
I'm not in Allen Park. I'm in my bedroom.
Oh, good for you.
Ready to take a little 30-minute nap before I head back downtown.
Good for you. Yeah. So you were you in Allen Park today then?
I was supposed to be. I had to fill in on Big D Energy, so I was in the sound booth.
Got it.
But Amon-Ra St. Brown, he gave his post-contract extension press conference, and then they just introduced Terrion Arnold about 15 minutes ago.
All right, so let's go back to last night. Your take on the Lions trading up and getting this young man, Terrion Arnold.
Called it.
I think it's a fantastic pick. He was one of the 2, maybe 3 players that I would have traded up for. Otherwise, I was content at staying at 29 or moving back in the draft. But they know, and from seeing and hearing from Brad Holmes after the draft, that was their guy all along. They had their eyes set on him. As soon as they got to 18, they started making the calls. They started getting aggressive. And then it just kind of it drifted back a little farther, and the price to get him was that much cheaper, only a 3rd rounder. And I know that's a big pick this year, but, man, they just paid 2 3rd rounders for their 2 starting cornerbacks now. I'm super happy with Terrion Arnold.
Bro, hell of a job doing this throughout this process in terms of giving us information, research, and then telling us what you believe is going to happen, because usually it happens a little bit something like that. Got to give Maz a lot of credit because he talked about it. He said we need to move up. Maz made me realize that, hey, the Lions are this close. They were this close last year. They're a player or 2 away is what they believe, and I think that's why they made this move. Quick question for you. Isn't it interesting? You listen to those 4 cuts by Terrion Arnold. One of the things he said was pride. He said, I woke up with pride that I was a Detroit Lion. He said, I went to sleep a Lion. I woke up a Lion. That wasn't the case 2 years ago. Talk about the difference in time, and I'll let Masdom get into the Terrion Arnold pick, but just talk about what it means what Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell have done. The fan base is electric.
Yeah, they built a destination, and it's now not just for free agents, and we've really yet to see a major free agent come, although I'm a big fan of DJ Reader wanting to come here and play in Detroit. But when you look at these college prospects now, I don't want to say they have more power or control where they land. They don't, but they know where they want to go.
Let Deion Sanders tell it.
Exactly. A guy like Terrion Arnold, like this is a perfect landing spot for him and a perfect player for the Lions to get. It's a position of need and the best player available at 24. That's a steal. And he gets to come play with his buddies. Like I've been lucky enough to interview him twice over the last 2 days. The first time I asked him, hey, like, what would it be like playing with Brian Branch again and J-Mo and Jahmyr Gibbs? And he'd given me pretty, not vanilla answers, but pretty, basic answers up to that point. You could see the smile come on his face. And, like, it was something real. He's wanted to play with BB, with Brian Branch, and now he gets the opportunity. And last thing I'll say, Braylon, I asked him really about that Lions culture in his post-pick press conference at about 1:45 a.m. last night. I said, hey, we just saw this front office's two of their first draft picks get extensions that made them the highest player at their position. Like, what does that mean to you and your future draft teammates that we're going to see today and Saturday? And he responded like, man, like, this is what Detroit is now. It's a place, it is a destination. It's a place where prospects know if they're drafted to and they put in the work and they produce, they're going to be rewarded. That's everything we've been talking about of why you got to pay Amon-Ra St. Brown is coming to fruition now. And now they got Terrion Arnold. That secondary is really, it's looking pretty good.
No doubt, bro. And I wanted to ask you this. Do you think the Rams might have hijacked their guy at 19 when they took Verse? That's my first part of the question. And B would be, do you think they moved up to get ahead of Green Bay, who I think would have probably taken Terrion Arnold had the Lions not, and they wind up going with an offensive lineman after?
I'm not so sure about the Los Angeles Rams. I was searching for some information, asking people, like, hey, is Verse actually on the Lions' radar? And while I think he would be or he should be, I just don't know for sure. That may have played into them, all right, once Verse is off the board, now it's time to really figure out how this board's going to go and make sure that we go up and get our guy before anyone else drafts him, one of which could be Green Bay. It could be Tampa Bay. There were teams that needed defensive backs. So I think jumping in front of Green Bay again in another draft is a huge move. And whether they would have gone Terrion Arnold or Cooper DeJean, who was still on the board. So I guess actually they didn't pick Cooper. I actually like the Packers pick. That's one of my favorite NFC North selections. But nonetheless, Brad knew what he was doing. He didn't want to see Terrion Arnold in Green Bay for the next 5 years, so why risk it?
Broder, I'm probably hijacking the topic, a segment that we're probably going to get into, but what the heck, you're darn good at what you do. So I want to hear from you. Were you surprised as much as everybody else at pick number 8? The Atlanta Falcons, 4 years, $180 million. They paid Kirk Cousins, and then they turn around and surprise everybody. They draft Michael Penix 8. What is going on in Atlanta?
No idea. Like I've been trying to figure this out since it happened. although I'm very thankful because that run on quarterbacks led to guys like Terrion Arnold falling to Detroit. I don't know what the thought process is at all. They must be, and we were talking with Neil Rule about this on Big D, like, they must be planning to sit him for 2 years. But, like, why? Why are you investing in him now? You just paid, 9 digits to Kirk Cousins. They're both injured. Like, it's not like Penix is a healthy version and they're worried about Kirk Cousins' Achilles. I don't get it. They had one major hole. Like, they have some needs, but they have one major hole, and that's pass rush. And they had everybody there for them. I don't know why they didn't trade back or just take Dallas Turner at pick number 8. I don't know what they're doing.
We'll talk more about it. I just wanted to get your quick take on it before we let you go. So, yeah, we'll get back into it more. Ryan, my apologies for blowing up one of our topics.
No, I got plenty of audio on that and video.
I got some thoughts on it, too.
It's the funniest thing. Yeah. One of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Might be the worst draft pick of all time.
I'm telling you right now, they are
nothing to do with the player.
The coach and GM over there are like the Keystone Cops when you see this video. And Arthur Blank, the owner. But we'll get to that. How about today? The Lions have one pick tonight because they gave away their 3rd-round pick to get Terrion Arnold. What do you think they're doing here, bro?
I think they're going to move back. I think you could dangle 61 and try to get 2 more picks, one in the 3rd, one in the 4th, in the 80s and the 90s and then the early 100s. That's what I would do. But if they pick at 61, I expect them to address the trenches. I think they're going to go interior offensive line or interior defensive line, unless there's an edge that they really like a Jonah Ellis or an Austin Booker, maybe Marshawn Nealand. I would love to see, actually, Jerzon Newton is still on the board if they want to get aggressive and trade up. They don't have much left this year, but they got 10 picks next year. I would love to see a Cooper Beebe at 61, or even Penei Sewell's cousin, Kingsley Sumatia out of BYU.
Say that again.
Developmental tackle. Kingsley Sumatia, BYU.
Matt Broder is darn good at his job, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a mauler, and I try, Braylon. I look up to professionals like you. I saw you win the Biletnikoff. I saw you get drafted 3rd overall.
Knock it off.
And I see just the kind of person you are right now. I'm doing everything here in Detroit. You are the man.
You're making me blush.
Up isn't off the table, but I think they're going to stick at 61 or move back. I wouldn't mind Ladd McConkey.
I'll tell you,
Georgia wide receiver.
Broder, you had mentioned a trade up just now. Maybe unlikely, but I almost feel like it is likely. I'm looking at the best available guys. There's 10.
Good ones.
There's 10 guys that could have gone in the 1st round last night. This is a very good draft. If the Detroit Lions identify a player like they did last night, and this board starts getting crazy again, like it did last night, would you dip into next year's draft pool? You got, would you say 10 picks next year?
I would.
And say, hey, let's go get our guy and then be done with it.
I would, as long as you still aren't giving up too much this year, because you'd likely need to include 61. And then there's just a gap right now from 61 to 164. So I want to pick in the earlier hundreds because there are some good players in this draft. But you're right. Jackson Powers-Johnson, Zach Frazier. You got Jerzon Newton, Cooper DeJean. Like, there are dudes. How
about Kool-Aid McKinstry? Who did I tell you was going to fall out yesterday?
Yep.
Right? Like,
they don't need him anymore.
No.
They have guys that a lot of us mocked in the 1st round, even like trading up in the 1st round. They're now there. I wouldn't put it past Brad Holmes in that front office to go for it. Like they don't need all 7 picks. They obviously don't have 7 left anymore, but they don't need that many draft picks. Like, they have a complete roster. He can do whatever he wants. If you can get a game changer like a Jerzon Newton or an edge that they like, or shoot, go get Chris Jenkins from University of Michigan. That might not cost you very much.
He's on the board. What about Junior Colston? You need a linebacker. What about Junior? It's all good, no doubt about it. Hey, Matt,
Mikey Sandra still.
Get yourself a nap before you got to go back downtown today. All right. Good luck getting down there. We'll be watching.
Appreciate you guys.
Absolutely. Matt Broder, our WSN Lions beat reporter. Good stuff there. I want to play some Brad Holmes for you. We had talked about the fact that Terrion Arnold was the highest rated corner on the board. Here's Brad Holmes saying that.
There's a perfect blend of best player, but also a need, which is not necessarily, but the combination?
100%. It doesn't always match up that way. I know you guys have heard me
Or used to
say
talk
a
about
million times, we don't care what the position is. We're just going to get the best football player, but it happened to match up with it's the best football player, and, it was an area where we wanted to add one at some point. We didn't know if we were going to be able to add one in the first round. And be quite honest, we weren't really anticipating being able to add one in the first round. So we just kind of thought we would kind of be out of the mix for a lot of those guys, especially him, because he was our best. He was our highest rated corner. So the thing about Terrion, what's great about him, some of these guys, they are what they are, or, you might say, well, the ceiling might not be as high, but the thing about him is you go back to his 22 film, you go back to earlier this season, and you saw an incremental just improvement every single game. So I think the first time I watched one of his games was, I think it was an LSU game, and that's kind of when I first kind of saw him, and then I was like, okay, I see skill set, but then you start getting down to those late games, you get down to the college football playoffs, and you see him versus Georgia, and it's okay, all right, it's on the come. So and that as well with the skill set. So we feel really good about his floor, but we feel even better about his ceiling. We feel really good about the kid. We brought him in, we interviewed him, brought him in. He's got a big personality. He's got a high ceiling. He's a sticky corner. He'll tackle. He's got good size and length. He had a great workout when I went down to see him at his pro day, and that was a game that I wanted to catch an Alabama game, but never was able to get there. So we made a concerted effort to get to his pro day, and he had a great workout. So again, we're really thrilled that it fell this way. Never thought it would work out that with the continuous Bama to Bama to Bama, but I'm not surprised either, because we know how we want to build our football team, and those guys have been a stalwart powerhouse in the top college football conference for a very long time.
Just amazing stuff out of Brad Holmes. Do me one favor real quick, Pete. Just start the very first clip. Just look at the smile on Brad Holmes' face.
It's just a perfect blend of.
All right, that's good right there, Pete. I appreciate it. You see that smile?
That could be a GIF or GIF or whatever they call it.
I got to take a picture of that smile, man, and send it to him. Appreciate it. Just looking at that smile, it lets you know he was waiting for that question. He's been waiting for the draft. This is when Brad Holmes shines the brightest and the most. They knew their guy was Terrion Arnold. They vetted the process. And he's talking about another Alabama guy? Yes, we understand another Alabama guy because we understand how they're coached. We understand what they have. When they come to this level, they're already ready to make plays. They're ready to contribute in major ways. So another notch in the cap for the mad scientist that I have dubbed him, Brad Holmes, man. He went and got his guy, and he's a guy at a position. This secondary has gone from trying to figure it out, not necessarily good, to getting some really good players, Alabama influence. I mean, you talk about the tackling. That was a major issue with the DBs. You talk about being able to stay in phase with wide receivers and break pass deflections. You see him in the Michigan game at the Rose Bowl. You see him in the LSU game. He went against Malik Neighbors. He went against John Thomas II, who was also drafted in the first round. Held his own and actually did more than that. So my cap off to another great pick by Brad Holmes.
First of all, Nick Saban is great on TV.
Yeah,
he's great at everything he does.
So is Belichick, by the way.
Belichick will be terrific as well.
Belichick was fun.
But I'm going to stick with Nick Saban for a minute, because when they talked to him and when Terrion was picked by the Lions, he could not smile wider or talk more glowingly about him. He said this is the kid that would sit next to him at every defensive meeting, would come to his house, sit next to Miss Terry, his wife, and they play Rummy Cube. That's my wife and kid's favorite game, Rummy Cube. This kid has got it. The way he talks about his mother, the way he went back to his high school to take care of the janitor that took care of him and his family. This kid he's his A's all around. And it warms my heart. As much as I bitch about the Lions not taking a chance of going out and getting a bad boy, sometimes the good boys win, huh?
That's right.
Sometimes the good boys win.
No doubt.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It was Deion Sanders and one of the coaches. It was your guy. It was Coach Hurley.
Yep.
From
Bob
UConn.
Hurley.
Bob
St.
Hurley.
Peter's.
Yeah, 100%. Bob Hurley, not Bob Hurley, Dan Hurley, his brother.
Dan Hurley
there
from
you go,
UConn.
Dan Hurley from UConn. From UConn. What did he say? He said,
Parents.
It's the parents. Did you see Terrion Arnold's interview with his parents? You see his mother and his father, they were about business. They were Christian. They spoke well. He spoke well like them. They were well represented. Like, that's the kind of guys that he's going after. I mean, you see that. Same like UConn. You have success when the parents are involved, man. I know my parents are heavily involved. Shout out to that family because they look wonderful on TV.
Without question. And we're going to talk a lot about the NFL draft and what happened with just the entire thing with Russell Brown coming up top of the hour. But in the meantime, let's just go through that. This was the first pick in the draft, Caleb Williams. Man, I maintain this guy will not be a good quarterback in the NFL. Something about him.
Neil Rule didn't like his fit.
I just have a hunch. Here's the reaction last night with the first pick.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Caleb Williams.
I mean, there it is. So Caleb Williams, number 1 overall. What did you guys make of the pick last night? We all knew it was coming, but now that it's done.
I mean, look, it is the pick. And I was sitting there talking to TJ Hushmanzada last night when the pick was in. And I asked Hoosh, still one of the funniest fantasy commercials, man. I know you've been heavy in the fan. That TJ Hushmanzada commercial. One of the funniest
That was
of
an
all
oldie
time.
but goodie.
It's a great one. But I was sitting there talking to him, and I said, hey, Ryan, I asked this question for you and myself. What's going to happen with the fingernail polish? What's going to happen with the dresses? I mean, you see Jalen Johnson has already gone out and said this publicly about what he's not expecting when Caleb Williams comes in. You know what he told me, and it was the realest thing I'd ever heard. He said he's going, because he trains in the same facility with Caleb Williams. That's what TJ is now doing. He's training some of these players. He trains him. He helped Michael Penix as well. He said he's going to do what he wants to do. He's part of this new culture, this new era. They're going to do what they want to do. They're going to show you that. But once he goes out there and has 300 yards, once he has a win, once you start to build consistency, people aren't going to care what you're doing. Look at Dennis Rodman. And he used Dennis Rodman as an example. And I said, wow, it's a great example. Dennis Rodman was wearing fingernails. He married himself. He wore a whole wedding dress.
He was way ahead of the curve.
100%. He wore a wedding dress. He did all this crazy stuff. Michael Jordan said it was cool for him to go to Vegas. You know why they put up with Dennis Rodman? Because when he was on the court,
he worked.
When he was on the floor, you were going to get the best out of him, and he was going to give you the best chance to win championships. If that's the case, Caleb Williams can be a part of a new generation. If he loses, then it's like you got to switch it up.
Here's the difference. When Dennis Rodman started doing that, he was already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Right.
He already had a Hall of Fame career with the Detroit Pistons before he started doing that. And he was a role player. That was Isaiah Thomas's team, and that was Joe Dumars' team. Everybody looked to Isaiah and Joe and Lambeer and those guys. Just last night, even just during the interview portion, like, oh, what's your next goal? I just want to learn my teammates' names. And I'm like, dude, you're kind of a weirdo.
There's a lot of weirdos that have been successful.
I don't think he will have. I think Cliff Kingsbury and that Lincoln Riley, Lincoln Riley has had this system in place over a number of years. I think this is the third Heisman winner.
Baker Mayfield just got to the playoffs and got paid. He also won a playoff game with the Browns when the team was fully healthy. And Kyler Murray made it 2 playoff games. Kyler Murray just got paid.
If Caleb Williams was being compared to Baker Mayfield,
but it's not Baker Mayfield, it's Lincoln Riley. You just talked about the 3 guys that played for him.
I'm just saying, I think he's a system quarterback.
You don't think he's a leader. You don't think he has got
and I don't think he's that
leadership qualities is what you don't think.
I don't think he's that good. And I'm not going to be proven right today.
No.
But neither are you. It's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's okay to have one, but I go back to this. You said Dennis Rodman. You said he'd already had a Hall of Fame career. He had already had a couple titles with the Detroit Pistons. It doesn't matter what you had before that. If Caleb Williams goes out there to 5,000.
That part I totally agree with you. I don't think he's capable of doing that.
Oh, yeah, that's all I was talking about. It.
I totally agree with that point. Like, if it's not possible to agree on that point as much as with you as more than I do.
Oh, 100%.
I absolutely do. I don't think he's capable of doing that.
The mental stability does not seem to be there.
Well, it's not even mental. I just don't think. I think he's a system quarterback. That's number one.
Okay.
And I think it's a totally dysfunctional organization in Chicago.
Not anymore.
I don't know. Who's the offensive coordinator for the Bears?
I forgot.
Exactly. They're going to have a new one next year, too, after this guy gets fired. This guy's going to get fired. What's his name? The head coach in Chicago?
Matt Eberflus.
Eberflus is going to lose his job next year.
How do you know?
Probably.
He coached well last year. He kept his job.
Did a nice job. He did a nice job.
I want to bring up Bill Parcells. I almost got canned in year 2.
Right. Dysfunctional organization. I don't think he's that good of a player. I think he's a system quarterback.
Well, they did their best for him.
Bill Lazor.
Yeah.
They went and got Roma Dunze with pick number 9. So they're giving him everything he needs. Plus, he's got 2 All-Pros wide receivers on top of Odunze.
Yeah,
and you got Swift in the backfield, which is okay.
It's one of those situations where, look, man, if you're supposed to be this guy coming out of USC, if you're supposed to be this end-all, be-all, if you're supposed to be the next coming of Patrick Mahomes, we've laced you. We've laced you with everything you need. You got 3 wide receivers. You have a tight end and Cole Kmet. You brought up DeAndre Swift, your favorite running back.
No, he's not, but he's all right.
I'm just messing with you. But we've presented you with all this, and we got guys on defense, and we still have more picks. So if you botch this up, then it's really on Caleb Williams, to your point.
No doubt.
Their next pick will be an O-lineman.
Better be.
Yeah, we'll see. Guys, there's the Michael Penix to the Atlanta.
And what were the Giants thinking?
J.J. McCarthy.
What are you thinking?
What's his name? Your boy Tannenbaum ripped them, the Giants.
Yeah, he did.
The J.J. to the Vikings. Just a quick thought on both of those before we get to Russell Brown.
Jeez.
I will never understand. Like, I am not capable of understanding why the Atlanta Falcons would pick a quarterback at 8. I feel terrible for Michael Penix. I absolutely feel terrible for Michael Penix Jr. because that's a player that is ready to play now. And at worst, he'll have to sit for 2 years.
Did you hear how Kirk Cousins found out? They called him during the pick.
Even that, like, the Cousins element of it doesn't bother me as much. It's not something. I would not have signed a $100 million contract with somebody when I could have probably gotten that somewhere else. Kirk Cousins could have got $100 million from anywhere, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And if I was Kirk Cousins, I would not have signed that deal. And it's got nothing to do with the fact that, you're worried about competition or Penix. You just didn't get any better last night.
No, so far they did not.
You didn't get any better last night.
Here's a video. We could talk over it.
Yeah, sure.
This is we talk over it. This is Arthur Blank talking to Terry Fontenot. Just take a peek at this. Pete, play this. Don't play it with the sound. We'll talk over it.
Well, it's not surprising that Bill Belichick didn't get that job now. They're doing things differently in Atlanta, and it's not making any sense.
Look at these guys explaining to each other. And then we're going to come out of this, and I want you to hear Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris answer why they took Michael Penix.
There you go.
This question is for Terry or Raheem, whichever one of you called Kurt when you were on the clock and you tell me about it. What's his reaction?
Well, that's a private. We wouldn't share that, and obviously
reactions are pretty private, right?
Yeah.
He got called on the clock, obviously because of the sensitive time with the issues of what you got going on. It's never a right time to talk to a quarterback about those things, and reactions are always going to be private when it comes to those things, unless Kurt decides to tell you some of those things, or whatever the case may be. But he's a competitor, just like us all, and you can always expect those things to go just like you kind of think.
His agents kind of been telling us that they were shocked and dismayed and so forth, that they were informed on the clock.
Yes.
First of all, they look like Dumb and Dumber up there. They're looking. I hate to talk about black men like
Oh,
that
my God.
as a brother, but they up there
They
looking.
set you guys back a million years.
Yes, they did. It looked like Dumb and Dumber. You asked the question, the ball head went on the left side. He's looking like, what, huh? What? And then Raheem Morris is like, yes, on the clock, on the clock. He sounded like Donald Trump when he's like mumbling during interviews sometimes. God. Like, what the heck is going on? I actually was going to come up here and give devil's advocate to why they got the pick.
I'd love to hear it.
The devil, I just got to say, well, what the heck is going on? Bill Belichick better be glad that he didn't get the gig down there in Atlanta. The devil's advocate side of it, though, Ryan, is Kirk Cousins is 37, tore his Achilles at 37. He's playing on field turf. You don't know what the Atlanta Falcons are going to be. You can shift money. The Denver Broncos paid Russell Wilson $275 million and gave up 3 first-round picks. They cut him. They cut him and got that dead money, so it'd be a lot less dead money if they did something with Kirk Cousins. The other thing is, who's to say Kirk Cousins is just the first year? What happens if Kirk Cousins gets injured? Now what are you going to do for a quarterback?
Well, then you've made a terrible mistake by
Kirk
investing
Cousins.
$100 million.
$180 million?
No,
I said it was dumb when that happened.
It's a $180 million contract for 4 years, but $100 million is guaranteed. So one of two things has happened. There is not a third.
Yeah.
You either made a horrible mistake in investing money in Kirk Cousins, $100 million of it.
And they're going to get Doc the draft pick for
tampering.
For tampering.
Or you made a horrible decision in not getting better this year and drafting his replacement, which, by the way, he's not a development quarterback.
He's ready now.
He's ready now.
He's 24.
He's 24 years old. Name me a quarterback in the NFL in the history of the league, and I don't even know how old Kurt Warner was when he got his shot.
Yeah.
Maybe Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a quarterback that started for the first time at 26 and flourished?
Stayed the court, right?
They have done this
Frank
player.
Wright.
They have done this player a
Frank
disservice. They have absolutely done this player a disservice. Forget about the Cousins aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's two elements. If I'm Michael Penix Jr., I'm pissed. I'm really, really upset that the Atlanta Falcons took me last night because that's my career.
Let me ask this question. Are you really that – this is as a player, but I'm asking this to you to see if I phrase it this way, how you think about it. Are you really pissed?
Yes.
If you – Maz, let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Are you really pissed if you're Michael Penix, a guy who a week ago wasn't even in the first round, has slipped this far in all mock drafts down to – a couple of the first 10 of the second round, maybe the 15th of the second round, maybe pick 39 or 31 or something like that. He was slipping, and all of a sudden this comes out. He moves up. Well, maybe he's a first-round quarterback, or maybe someone has their sights on him. Maybe the Rams at 19. Maybe it's the Raiders at 11 or 13, wherever. He goes 13th. He goes 8th overall last night. Regardless if he has to sit or not, he's making top 10 NFL money for year one, will sign a top 10 contract in NFL for year one, and can figure it out along the way. Are you really that mad?
He could have been a starter for the Raiders. He could have been a starter in Minnesota.
But
He
you
could have
just
been a starter in New Orleans. Could have been a starter in Denver.
Yep.
That's picks 11, 12, 13. Hey, let's bring in Russell Brown. More about this, and we'll talk to Russell about the Lions, obviously. Russell Brown, an NFL Draft Analyst at Fantasy Pros and at Lions Wire, at Russ NFL Draft on X on Twitter. Russell, how are you, my friend?
Hey, Russ.
What's
hey,
up,
fellas, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Good. Just want to continue the
confused.
Just want to continue the Penix discussion while we're here. I don't think I've ever seen a worse draft pick in my. You've either made a mistake in investing $100 million in Kirk Cousins, or you made a mistake in not helping out your team this year and drafting a quarterback that's got to sit for at least 2 years and not start till he's 26. What did you make of that pick?
I'm with you guys. It was a shocker live on the broadcast when it was happening. And I had to try to be very optimistic when it happened, live doing radio and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, it is what it is at this point. But you think about it overnight and it's like, I don't know what the plan is. They needed help with a pass rusher. They passed on Latu. They passed on Dallas Turner, Jared Verse. And yeah, I'm with you guys. You go and get Michael Penix and it just doesn't add up unless there's some very serious concern of the Achilles on Kirk Cousins and the longevity of him really playing through that contract, which I don't know if he does make it through that entire contract, but just really surprising. It feels like an organization that you bring Kirk Cousins in, you're going to win now, and they don't really look like they're trying to win now by going and getting a quarterback. So it was just a shock.
I guess what is the argument for Penix? I mean, to have a quarterback in 3 years, like after sitting for 2 years, there's no doubt about the talent. He's a really good player, but I mean, what is that argument? I guess I just don't even understand. They didn't really even answer it.
Maybe he starts.
I guess maybe the thought is this is your future plan with the position, and you get a guy in there that can learn your system, get healthy, create some rapport with guys like Bijan and Drake London and Kyle Pitts, and you're just really preparing for the future, which that was my optimistic approach to it. The win now part doesn't really add up to me. But I think when, you look at it in the grand scheme of things, if he's 27 and he is the starter in 3 years, like you mentioned, and he ends up going and plays 10 to 12 years for them, could you live with that if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan? If you're a fan of any team, if your quarterback plays for 10 to 12 years, are you happy with that? So I think most fans would probably say yes. So I think that's the only optimistic way I can view it for the sake of Falcons fans and Michael Penix, because I feel really bad for him, because now this expectation is going to be placed on him as a first-round pick, 8th overall, not playing right away. And if he does play right away, he's got to win like now. It's got to be right now.
Yeah, this isn't a question. I have a question after. This is more of a statement. I was telling these guys, Russ, it's kind of like the situation when I was in Seattle. When I got to Seattle in 2012, they had just paid Matt Flynn. They played Matt Flynn off the basis of what he did against the Lions the last game of the year. It was a shootout, he and Matt Stafford. They paid him a boatload of money for, at the time, 2012. He's making $17 million a year and never started a full season.
Thanks to the Lions.
100% thanks to the Lions. But then they go and draft Russell Wilson in the second round.
3rd round pick, wasn't he?
I think he was mid-second, maybe 3rd. I think mid-second. But long story short, I never really saw Matt Flynn get a chance to win that job in training camp. It was Russell that Pete Carroll was pushing. It was Russell that was getting the major snaps in preseason games when the starters should be out there. And then when the season started, Matt Flynn was on the bench. This could be a situation where, look, Raheem and Terry, they want Michael Penix to be the guy, and they feel like he's the new face of the Falcons that they're building. Kirk Cousins might not get a chance to start, which is even crazier, which makes the pick even stupider. But Kirk Cousins might not even get a chance to play.
Can I just say this quickly, Russell?
Yeah.
In 2012, the Seattle Seahawks selected Bobby Wagner and Bruce Irvin with their first two picks.
And Russell was
and then
third.
Russell third.
Right.
So that's a little bit different situation.
Maybe they trade Kirk now.
I don't know.
Maybe after this season, maybe after the season they look at trading them. You look at
not bad.
The Las Vegas Raiders, the longevity within, not the longevity, but really that quarterback room is a little unclear, right? You have Gardner Minshew, you have Aiden O'Connell. Yeah. I'm not fully sold on those guys. So if something happens with Kirk where he's disgruntled or it just doesn't work out, and to Braylon's point, if Penix comes in and he is the guy, then so be it. I don't know if it's necessarily poor drafting. Maybe it's more so poor free agency. And maybe they just wanted to get the quarterbacks in the room to give themselves the options to where last year, they were playing Taylor Heineke and Marcus Mariota and all these other guys. Now they kind of get rid of that. Now they have 2 legitimate options at quarterback.
That's true. I mean, maybe they'll figure it out. But right now we're still confused and they haven't told us anything. So we're still confused. Let's get into it. The Detroit Lions, Brad Holmes, he stays aggressive. Maz was right 100%. Maz has been calling for a minute. Ryan was right, and then he talks about the first-round defensive talent. So you're going to get a chance to get one of those talents, and boy, did they. Brad Holmes aggressive. Talk about the move up, and was it the right player at the right pick?
Absolutely. I don't know what luck they get on draft day, but, man, it's 4 straight years in a row here where they're just getting lucky with some of the best players in the draft, specifically on defense. And Terrion Arnold, to me, was the number 1 corner in the draft, my 14th ranked player. Depending on who you talk to, they would say he's the number 1 player defensively in the draft. And at 6 foot 189, 4.5 speed in the 40, that's a little concerning when you talk about press man and the recovery speed. But he's a physical playmaker that embraces contact from the opposition, quick feet, fluid hips. He plays square on blockers, and he works very well outside in to assist on that run support on the perimeter. very competitive at the catch point, and he's just got this infectious energy about him when you watch him play for Alabama's defense. And when Nick Saban's hyping him up and saying he's one of the most talented defensive backs I've ever coached, and that's Saban's position. That's the group
Saban doesn't lie.
Yeah, and he's not going to lie about him. And Terrion Arnold is a guy that he can excel in this scheme, whether it be in cover 3, whether it's in press man as a man cover guy. He's going to play inside and outside. He can do a variety of things for this defense. And now they've gotten more flexible within their secondary of Carlton Davis and Meek Robertson, Brian Branch. You throw in Terrion Arnold. I love it. I think it was the right move, and I can't believe he was available at 24. I can't believe that we saw 14 offensive players in a row, and we saw 23 offensive players selected in this draft. I mean, I expected the record to be broken there, but I just didn't expect the run on offensive players to push this type of defensive talent right in the lap of the Lions.
Hey, Russ, who's left on your big board for the Lions at 61? Do you think they move out? Do you think they pick up an extra pick? Because then there's a big drop-off into the hundreds because they dealt their third-round pick to Dallas, which I'm good with because I think they're only a player or two shy. Who do they go with here? Is it an old lineman? What do you like here?
I mean, the name I've constantly heard is Michael Hall from Ohio State. I've heard that they're, really intrigued by him. A little bit of an undersized 3 technique, but really explosive. 6'3", 6'4", 285 pounds. He's going to be able to move around up front with that defensive line. You already have those bigger bodies with DJ Reader and Aleem McNeil. So I think I would keep tabs on him. But I'm with you, Maz. I think you go offensive line. I would love to see them clean up some of the interior offensive line. And if they went that route, I mean, I would love to see Christian Haynes fall into their lap at 61. I don't think that's going to be the case. If they moved back, let's say 5 or 6 spots and they got Cedric Van Pran Granger out of Georgia, I think that would be a great fit. He reminds me quite a bit of Lloyd Cushenberry. Shorter arms, his frame's a little bit maxed out, but 44 straight starts at Georgia. Really good athlete, gets out in space, great snap-to-step quickness, strong hands. I love his ability, and I think he could be a guy that you bring in, you mold for the future. In a pinch, if he's got to play center or guard, he can do it, year one, but ultimately he'd be like a guy that you would think of as the future, depending on what happens with Ragnow. He's my 86th ranked player. So it might be a little bit of a reach at 61, but if they moved back, like you mentioned, kind of fill that gap between pick 61 and 164 with another pick or two, I think you can justify taking him.
Hey, side note off the Lions here. Let's go with the Buffalo Bills, who traded out twice with wide receivers staring at them in the face. I'm hearing they're going to try to get one of the big names out there, like a T. Higgins, maybe go out and get San Francisco's Deebo Samuel, Brendan Ayuk, whoever. But they pick first in the second round. What do you think the Buffalo Bills are going to be doing? Because they're at a crossroads. They got to win now.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, I was surprised that they traded down twice, and then they continue to do this to the team that is the thorn in their side in the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. They traded years ago with them to get Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Now they do it with Xavier Worthy. Ooh. And it's just one of those things where, I'm like, I have Bills fans following me all the time and reaching out, and I'm like, I don't want to see you guys complaining. Your team does this to themselves, but I think that they'll take a pass catcher to start the draft tonight. I don't know if it's Ladd McConkey or A.D. Mitchell. I don't know if they would use one of those second-round picks today to trade for one of those receivers. I think more so the 2025 second-round pick that they got for Stephon Diggs would probably be used for Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel, one of those types of guys. So we'll see what happens, but I think they start the draft off tonight with a pass catcher just simply because it's such a huge need. And, I mean, I'm assuming their board adjusted greatly because of Xavier Worthy, Ricky Pearsall, and Xavier Legette all going to kind of close out that draft last night.
Hey, where's my guy Cooper DeJean going? I mean, he fell out. I'm surprised, but you hear that he wasn't good man on man, all this kind of other stuff about him. I just thought he was a football player.
I thought so too. I thought we would see him in the first round. I mean, Mel Kiper had him ranked as his number 1 corner. I had him as my 35th overall player in this draft, so I wasn't as high on him as everybody else, but I can see why people like him, and I think he'll go somewhere between 36 and 40. Washington has picks 36 and 40, so I would keep tabs on them because they have that need for a safety corner hybrid. They lost Cameron Curl this offseason, so I think Cooper DeJean will go relatively early tonight. I would be a little surprised if he fell kind of outside of the top 50.
Hey, Russell, we make so much about the Detroit Lions. There are 3 other teams in that division, and 2 of those teams last night drafted 2 players in the first round, and another one of those guys, they got a darn good player in Jordan Morgan on offensive line. Talk about the other teams in the division. Is there any team that got better last night that you think the Lions really need to watch out for, and how was the overall draft for the Chicago Bears, who got 1-9?
Yeah, I think you look at the Bears on paper, they look like they got better, right? I mean, they've got Caleb
Paper
Williams,
champs.
Yeah, right. Paper champs, paper tiger champs. I mean, it's one of those things where they got better on paper. Rome Odunze, I think, can be one of the 2 or 3 best players in this draft. So I love that fit for them at 9. He's different from any receiver they have on the roster, from Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, kind of more of those slot receivers, guys that are going to move around a bunch on the formations. And Rome can play that prototypical X receiver at 6'3", 212 pounds. But my biggest thing is, can Caleb Williams transition into the NFL and be the successful quarterback that we all thought he was going to be? I mean, you hope so. The talent is there, but obviously, there's the concerns of just how he's going to carry himself. Is he going to get caught up in the limelight? We'll see. But they definitely got better on paper. We'll see what they do, tonight in the draft. I think they're going to probably trade out of that pick because they only have one other pick outside of that. You look at Minnesota, man, they're all in on the future with J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner. They've only got 3 picks for next year, and it's costing them an arm and a leg. But I think J.J. can do great things there. It's a great scheme for him with Kevin O'Connell. You look at Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and T.J. Hawkinson. I love what they have there, the dynamic offensively. And Dallas Turner, I thought, was the best defensive player in the draft. So they got him at 17. I think that's great value. And I think he can really be a plug-and-play guy that's going to be very explosive off the snap, great length. And I love the pairing with him with Jonathan Grenard. I think a lot of people forget they signed him in free agency. So I think that's a really dynamic duo there. And yeah, you mentioned Jordan Morgan. I thought Morgan was the 50th ranked player in this draft. I thought they reached a little bit. I felt like maybe Kingsley Sumaiteo would have been a better fit. Christian Haynes, the interior offensive lineman from UConn, would have been that player that I would have taken there. But Jordan Morgan's fine. I like him better as a guard, but he can play tackle, and this is kind of what the Packers do. They take these guard-tackle hybrids and just kind of make them work. They like those versatile guys that can move around, get out in space, and I think Jordan Morgan can do that. And before his torn ACL, he probably would have been a surefire first-round pick. Obviously, he goes in the first round, but we would have been talking about him probably all year long in the top 20.
Russ, what the hell did the Giants do? And did they get a good guy? Did they get Malik Neighbors? Is he an OBJ? How do you not take a quarterback if you're them when JJ spent like 3 days with these guys? I was a little taken by that when you're picking number 6.
I thought they were going to take a quarterback myself. I mean, I mocked them taking Rome Odunze, but I really thought they were going to pull the trigger on the quarterback position at 6 when they were on the clock, just simply because JJ was still there. There was no trade up from the Vikings. But it's just one of those scenarios for them where maybe they feel like they can get Spencer Rattler later today, or as we mentioned to start this thing off, was maybe they're the team that's waiting for things to go bad with Kirk Cousins, and maybe they try to trade for him. Who knows what's going to happen. But I like the fit with Malik Neighbors. He's my 3rd-ranked player in this draft, my 2nd-ranked receiver, so explosive. I called him the Energizer Bunny. He was just always on the go with this offense in LSU. He was always that motion guy, whether it's exit motions, orbit motions, jet motions. He's all over the line of scrimmage, and he's all over the field. And I think it's a great fit in New York because he's so different from any player that they have. I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson and Jalen Hyatt are fine, but Malik Neighbors really takes it over the top. So if Daniel Jones can stay healthy, maybe he takes that step forward as a quarterback. And I'm just really intrigued what they do today. I mean, I think they have a need in the secondary. I wouldn't mind seeing them get Mike Sanders still out of Michigan. I think that'd be a great fit with their first, 2nd-round pick, and then maybe Jaden Hicks out of Washington State or Javon Bullard. But I like what they've done so far.
Nice job.
Hey, Russell, last thing, and just to get back to JJ for a second, was there a better situation that he could have possibly gone to than the Minnesota Vikings?
I don't think so. I think if he would have gone to New England, I think that might have been a recipe for disaster, just simply because there's so many holes within that offense. And I think he's a guy that needs good pieces around him, similar to Jared Goff in a sense. Like, you got to have a good offensive line for him. You got to have, 1 or 2 pass catchers. You got to be able to run the football successfully. And I think Minnesota provides that for him. And I think it's a great landing spot. I think the NFC North is going to be so competitive with these quarterbacks, with Caleb and Jordan Love and Jared Goff and now J.J. McCarthy. It's really going to be a must-watch division. And I can't wait to see how it unfolds for JJ, because he's so humble and I love the way he carries himself. And as I've said to you guys in the past, he checks so many boxes, 27-1, accurate. He doesn't take the home run, balls down the field. He does the things with, the singles and the doubles. He's fine with hitting into the gap, and he'll just take those check down throws. So I'm intrigued with that fit, and I'm intrigued to see how he does moving forward.
Hey, Russ, this isn't a question. This is your last kind of send-off. We're over 1,000 people watching live right now, and that's because of your insight. They knew you were coming on. They love the information you give, and they love the Detroit Lions, man. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. But, Russ, man, we appreciate that heavy-hitting stuff, always giving us the facts and always giving us right where we think we need to
Thanks,
be.
Russ.
Thanks, Russ. We appreciate it, buddy.
True
You got anything going on?
Appreciate
You got anything you want to promote tonight? You got anything out there you want people to go to?
I dropped the day 2 mock if you guys are into that type of thing. I'm a sick guy like
100%.
that. Work until 5 a.m. running that thing. But I'll be live on Fantasy Pros on YouTube tonight from 7 o'clock till the end of the draft, just giving insight. We'll be chiming in and having a lot of fun. So you guys can check us out, and obviously check out anything that you guys are going to be doing there with Woodward and any streams tonight as well.
We'd love to get you on again next week when the draft is complete. Yeah. Russ, thanks for all your hard work. You're a total pro, and I really appreciate your insights, man.
ESPN's calling, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
All right. Russell Brown, everybody, check him out tonight as well. We are going to get to a break. When we come back. JJ McCarthy. I got a few things to say about that.
I still got another thing on the Michael Penix deal. It's another angle.
Yeah, sure.
Another angle.
I'd love to hear it.
We could continue just to talk Michael Penix for the next 2 days.
I know it. Let me hear it. All right, but first, a message from Merch.
Correct, everybody. You know the NFL Draft is obviously going on right now, and if you have friends or family in town, why don't you head to shop.woodwardsports.com and buy them something to remember their visit to Detroit by. You can head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now and check out all the latest hats, hoodies, and tees for Detroit sports wearables that are guaranteed to turn heads. Again, head to shop.woodwardsports.com and make sure you get your friends and family something cool for Detroit sports wearables. Hey, Maz, how about pets, my friend? What can you get pets? What does Jeter like to wear?
Oh, he loves a Premier Pet Supply, and you can go right downtown to Detroit. It's one of their 13 Metro Detroit locations, or you can go online right now. PremierPetSupply.com, Michigan's best pet store, family-owned and operated over 30 years. I told you, 13 Metro Detroit locations, one right down in the draft footprint in downtown Detroit. Over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. Nutritionists on call for anything that you need for your pet. Don't settle for less. Give your pet the best. You know it. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
The most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Detroit Lions are the only thing that's red hot. That's right, the Nashville Hot is back. The pizza, the chicken sandwich, the chicken tenders, and the Nashville Hot fries by Soroki's, crispy chicken and pizza. Soroki's is the place to go, man. I told you I went a couple weeks ago. We visited, went in, everything was fresh. The service is right, the service was on time, and the food was fire. And I use that word on purpose because it is hot. Be careful. But if you can get through the season, if you can get through the spices, you can get to some good chicken. The Nashville Hot is back. That's Soroki's.
All right, welcome back. Bray, we were talking about the Michael Penix thing. You had a couple of things you wanted to go back to.
I'm gonna take another route. I'm gonna take another angle. And yes, I'm gonna play the black card, but this time it's not playing the black card to play the black card. You have a GM that is black. You have a head coach that is black. You have a city that is black in Atlanta. And I think maybe that might be a reason why they took Michael Penix. You can say what you want to. You can say what. I'm telling you, that could be an angle that they did. They just wanted a trifecta of representation for that team, man. You know, if that's the route they took, then so be it. But don't dance around it. You know, tell us what it is or make it make sense. If you're not going to make it make sense, it leads people to try to figure out, and these are one of the things that, you know, you come up with.
Yeah, man. If that is the case,
and that's all on me.
You're right. If that is the case, then man, I don't know.
They're looking for Michael Vick, man.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then they shouldn't have signed. Then
they should
build
not
around that guy and spend $100 million to help make that young man successful.
Agreed.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it, and I do feel bad for the young man because he could go start for the Raiders today. He could go start for Denver today.
Yeah, he could.
He could have started for Minnesota today. And when you don't play, like, look at T. Higgins. Here's an example of T. Higgins. T. Higgins is like a number 2 guy who's out there playing. T. Higgins sees Amon-Ra get $30 million a year, sees A.J. Brown get $32 million.
Kirk, $25 million.
$32 million a year. You know what is preventing T. Higgins from getting paid? The fact that he's not a number 1 guy.
Yeah.
And so he wants to go be a number 1 guy to get paid. The Atlanta Falcons just stifled, I think, Michael Penix Jr.'s earning ability.
Or they're going to let him play, right?
Well, maybe.
Or they're going to just say, sorry, Kirk.
Maybe.
Kirk's not done yet. Not ready yet. His calf is not healed. And this kid starts, and Kirk never sees the field.
And the NFL is sneaky like that because at the end of the day, they can make it an injury clause and take some money back from Kirk. You saw how he looked when he asked, when did you tell him? He said, yeah, we told him during the pick. The NFL is a shady business. At the end of the day, this is a way to cover their butt and still get some money back on the back end. It's a dumb deal, but at the end of the day, Ryan, if they pull one of those moves, a typical NFL move at the end, Maz is right, man. Maybe they start Michael Penix, and maybe that's their end game from jump. Yeah.
Guys, J.J. McCarthy was the 5th quarterback taken, goes to the Vikings. Here's Jim Harbaugh talking about J.J. McCarthy.
Just thoughts on J.J.
I watched. I stayed and watched it. Thrilled that I've been having conversation with J.J. That's where he wanted to go. That's where he had his heart set. I'm just so happy for him. Love him like a son, and I'm just, I was praying and pulling for it to work out the way he wanted it to work out, and the stars aligned, and congratulations to Minnesota. They got themselves a great player.
Yeah, I think this is the best scenario for JJ. I don't even think it's close. He can sit for a year behind Sam Darnold, and he's playing with a really good offensive coach in Kevin O'Connell.
And Braylon's got to move over now.
Braylon does have to move over. He is no longer the last offensive skill player to be taken in the first round, and of course, last quarterback taken in the first round.
Bray, I gave you a plug last night
Jim
on
Harbaugh.
the show.
Talk to me.
I gave you a plug, man.
Talk to me.
You were there. You were there for a long time, but I say He's still number one in Michigan books, though.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Maz. You know, I'm happy for J.J. McCarthy. I mean, you look at his journey from backing up Aiden McConnell, Cade McNamara, excuse me, from backing up Cade McNamara to getting some plays here and there to becoming the guy, even though he won during a shoulder injury. People forget his first year starting, he had a shoulder situation where he had surgery after spring camp. So goes through that, fights through that, and then he comes back that next year, shows you what he can do. He wins the national championship. So he's going to be fun to watch. And Ryan, you've been calling for jump. You know, I think, Colin Cowherd said that whoever goes to Minnesota, well, that's what you've been calling for jump. You've been saying he's going to go to Minnesota. He went to Minnesota. Minnesota's got themselves a heck of a player. And then he gets the chance to be with Kevin O'Connell. Kevin's an O'Connell. He's a genius when it comes to offense. He's been trying to get this thing right since he was a quarterback and a player. So now here he is, J.J. McCarthy. This is the draft celebration. I mean, see, he's excited. He's already engaged.
That's my daughter Lily's good friend that he's marrying, right? Katia?
You told me that one.
Yeah, and Lily, I got to say.
Get ready, because she's a friend of somebody that's about to be worth a lot of money, so she's going to be going on a lot of trips, man. And guess what? You won't have to pay.
How about that? I like that.
You won't have to pay.
Do you think that Katia could find Lily an NFL quarterback?
That's what comes with that.
Okay.
That's definitely
that's
what
all
comes
I'm looking
with that.
for.
That's definitely because
right.
that's the company that they'll be hanging in. They'll be in LA. They'll be around other players,
that's
other
awesome,
NFL players. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. And again, I do think he'll sit for a year behind Sam Darnold. I think he'll have an opportunity to kind of learn that offense, and I think he'll be a really good pro. I do believe, I have strong conviction that especially now, I think he'll have the best career that any of these quarterbacks taken in the first round, or anybody in this draft.
Or Drake May.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of Drake May.
Drake May.
Let me deviate just for 2 seconds. Ryan, I said this on the show. I said this on Fox 2 Mass. I go to work out at the gym yesterday in the morning. I get up, get a workout in. I'm gonna be around all these young guys. I got to be in shape. I got to make sure.
Already.
I got to make sure the guns
You're swole.
I got to make sure the guns are extra popping. I'm gonna be on stage tonight. But guess who I saw in the gym getting the workout in? It was like 8 in the morning. It was Drake May.
Wow.
Get out of here.
I swear to God on myself. Drake May had the beard now. He has the beard now. He's no more booty face. He was in the gym. He was getting it in. He was working. He was dialed into the workout. He's gonna be something. Like I
hope he is.
You don't see guys.
I think he's gonna be too.
Yeah,
even though Bill Belichick doesn't like him.
Yeah, well, Bill Belichick doesn't like anything.
What's the last good quarterback he drafted?
Exactly. So I think he's gonna be probably Matt Castle. I think he's gonna be. That was a joke. I think he's gonna be something. Getting back to the JJ deal. Also, he gets to look at the skill positions that they have. You got Justin Jefferson for however long, we don't know. But right now, you got Justin Jefferson, you got Jordan Addison, you have T.J. Hockenson, the tight end we know all too well here. And then you have Josh Jacobs in the backfield. Now you got Josh Jacobs in the backfield. He's going to be able to watch these players and Sam Darnold figure out the chemistry, but he won't be the one in there making mistakes. He'll be the guy observing. He'll be the guy that sees how Justin Jefferson likes certain slant passes. When Justin Jefferson gets mad, he'll see Jordan Addison. He'll be able to watch the offense from behind. So when he gets in there, I don't think he'll be as far behind as people think. You never know. Sam Darnold, something can happen. JJ could be ready by week 7, week 8, week 9, because you're talking about the time is now. This is April 26th. You're talking about week 7, week 8, week 9. You're talking about into November. There's a lot of time for him to learn under Sam Darnold, watch the game himself, take some reps, and be ready if and when his number is called.
All right, guys, let's take a break, go around the NFL. We'll do that next, but first a message from Swiss.
Is correct, everybody. I have some good news and I have bad news. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan, but the good news is that Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss will make sure that your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you. Also, speaking of Woodward Sports, you can wake up Woodward every Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Join Sam Flannel, Kool-Aid, Matt Broder, JB, and Kenny G again every Monday through Friday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, and that would be Woodward Sports, and we will be right back, folks.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Any See Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
What's good, man? How you doing? What you got for me today? Let's have a look, man. I see the one I want right there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Welcome to the winner's circle, Blake.
Hey.
Figer Law. All we do is win.
All we do is win. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Well, everybody, what happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys, and especially Packers, Vikings, and Bears fans, one thing.
Stay out.
That's right. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. And that technology has been proven to work, and those people have been proven to care. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today and tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Over to Bray.
And now it's time for the QB Challenge, and that is right. Win 2 tickets to the Detroit Lions home opener this season. All you got to do is scan the QR code above the Jets logo. And don't be hating on the Jets. That's where I play, but I still got love for the Detroit Lions. Look, the chicken sandwich is good. You should go to Shake Shack just to get that. But when you go in there, fill out that form, fill out that, register, get yourself the tickets. You see the pick is in. Terrion Arnold is now in your secondary. We're going to get better and better and better. The draft isn't over. So you should make sure you get on down to Shake Shack. Register for 2 tickets to win a home run.
Best spot to watch the draft, too.
Man, it's right in the mix. Right in the mix.
I don't even think you can get there right now.
Yeah.
Nah.
All right, Tom, let's go around the NFL. We got 3 NBA games and 4 NHL games tonight as well.
Another receiver got paid last night, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had the spotlight for 24 hours as the highest paid receiver. Now A.J. Brown has surpassed that. He gets a 3-year extension worth $96 million from the Philadelphia Eagles. A.J. Brown locked in now. Maybe he'll stop whining now about Jalen Hurts.
Rightfully so. Look, before I get into the whining part of it, you saw what he did the first year he got there, man. First year he gets there, they get to the Super Bowl. Now, it was because of some other things, but he balled out that year. You saw the first 9 games of last year, did something no wide receiver has ever done in the history of the NFL. 5 straight games over 175 yards, 100, something numb like that. He's a guy that they need. He is a damn good player, and I still can't believe the Tennessee Titans let him go. With that being said, like you said, man, now this will shut him up. Now it's time to become more of a leader. It's okay to – the squeaky wheel gets the oil. We know it. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. Well, you got your oil. Now it's time to produce, and now it's time to start leading.
JJ needs the other JJ happy as well, doesn't he?
100% he does.
They better pay Justin Jefferson or ship him out somewhere.
You need this. You see, take a page out of the Detroit Lions book. Take a page out of the book. You see what they did with Amon-Ra St. Brown. You see what they did with Penei Sewell. Those guys showed up. They showed out. They got paid as a result. Now you get other guys like Terrion Arnold happy to come here. Pay Justin Jefferson. I don't care what it is. What are we waiting for?
Did you see what Florio wrote?
No, what did he say?
I didn't see Mike Florio.
Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, just talking about just applauding the Detroit Lions organization for the way they handle their business and the way they pay their young players when it's time to pay their young players. And they don't play games like the Minnesota Vikings play games.
Now you got a guy that's pissed. Now you got a guy in JJ. Now you got Jay Jettas, as he's called. Now he doesn't feel a certain way about Minnesota. Now it starts the friction. Now you go into camp uneasy. Now you're not working out as you should, etc. Like, it's no need to play games. You know what he can do. You know what he's produced when healthy. Don't play games.
Hey, tonight, 7 o'clock, round 2, and then followed by round 3 of the NFL Draft. Adam Schefter put up his best remaining players. Usually it's Mel Kiper, but I'll give you a little Adam Schefter here, Ryan. If you can read a couple of those, you can say maybe the Lions trade up and get one of these guys.
Jazon Newton, Jackson Powers Johnson, Zach Frazier, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Cooper DeJean, Rakestraw, Mitchell, McConkey, Keon Coleman, Fisk, Cooper, Junior Colston, and quarterback Spencer Rattler. He's the last one left. Spencer
He's moving
Rattler.
on up, man.
Two players on that list, Zach Frazier and Adonai Mitchell. One's a wideout, one's an offensive lineman. Those would be 2 players that I would like to see the Lions, if can.
Frazier's a center.
100%.
And what's their hit rate, Ryan? 90%?
92%.
In the first round.
First round. But this guy's like a first rounder.
Well, he's going 63 to San Francisco in the ESPN mock.
Okay.
61,
Zach
the Lions
Frazier.
are taking Jalix Hutt, edge from Houston Christian.
That's what he thinks.
You know the good thing we know about mock drafts as it relates to just one team, the Detroit Lions, they're going to be wrong. When's the last time you seen a mock be right about the Detroit Lions pick? Maybe a couple times with Aiden, because it was 1 or 2. It was an either-or situation. But outside of that, I'm not listening to any mock. I'm just waiting to see what happens.
Actually, how about Matt Miller last night talking about the mocks? 8 direct hits. He tweeted out 29 of the 32 players selected in the first round.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty darn good. Pretty darn good.
Pretty
I was pretty good in the first 11. I only missed I missed the Latham pick. I was wrong on that. I was wrong on, obviously, Michael Penix.
Looks like you got a new career then as an NFL mock draft.
Nah, I don't have time to do all that. Like, it just kind of lines up. You pick. Once you know there's really not going to be any trades outside of one, it was kind of easy.
That bold take.
Like, if 100%, like, once you know that it's not really going to be any draft picks, like, all right, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 quarterback. You know Marvin's going fourth. You knew Joe Alt because of Jim Harbaugh and how he reestablishes the run. It was pretty easy in those first 10.
What did you almost hit, Ryan?
I almost hit the bold take yesterday of no trades in the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
There's only one. The JJ
it happened
trade.
at 10.
And it was your boy.
And then the Lions as well.
No,
he
I said no trades in the top
10.
10.
Nice.
You don't listen to what I say.
Yeah, I don't. This doesn't matter anyway. Anyway, none of us. Who cares? Penei Sewell, by the way, making $28 million a year, puts him as the #1 offensive lineman per year in salary. How about that? Penei Sewell is the highest paid per year in the NFL. Congratulations to him.
He deserves it.
Yep.
Right?
Hey, you know who might be back in Dallas?
Not Micah Parsons.
Ezekiel Elliott supposedly talking with the Cowboys. I don't know why, but they are.
Update on that, Maz.
What is it?
Breaking news, the Cowboys are expected to re-sign running back Ezekiel Elliott per the NFL. Zeke is coming back to Dallas. Just updated.
Congratulations.
Poor
Zeke.
guy, he
Thank
can't
you,
play
Pete.
anymore. I don't even.
I don't see it. I don't know if he could jump into that Salvation Army thing anymore.
You better not try it. I mean, it's not a terrible move for the Cowboys in the sense you put Zeke in the backfield because you know what he can do in the red, like in the goal line area. He's still a beast of a running back down there. Maybe it's a familiar face for Dak Prescott. Probably a Dak Prescott move going to get one of his guys and bringing it back because it seems like he's under fire from the current players, the current roster, and not believing him, etc. I think Zeke, they came in together. Those guys got rapport. They got history. I think Zeke can help you shape the locker room back into Dak's favor if he's playing well. I think that's the crux of that move. I don't think he's on the field. I think it's for Dak.
And Jerry probably promised.
True.
Jerry probably, because he kind of
Jerry takes care of his guys.
He kind of jettisoned him out. He felt bad about it.
Jerry
bring him
takes
back
care of
to
his
finish
guys,
his career in Dallas. It's like signing a contract to end your career
If I'm a
with
fan,
the team.
if I'm a fan, I hate Jerry Jones, especially like post '95. If I'm a fan, I hate Jerry Jones. If I'm a player, I love Jerry Jones.
All right, it's time for uniform talk now.
Okay.
Four teams got
Lions.
new uniforms. Who got the best one? Is it the Lions? Is it the Texans? Is it the Broncos?
Or the Jets?
Or the New York Football
I do
Jets?
think it's the Lions.
Look, let me go first, Ryan, because I'm not a Lions guy.
Rank them all.
This is not biased. The Jets got the helmet right. The Denver Broncos, I don't think got anything right. I think the Houston Texans, I like the helmet, I like some of it, but also it's real busy. Like it's a very busy uniform. I gotta wait kind of see that together. To rank them, I'm going Lions 1, I'm going Gang Green 2, I'm going Texans, and then I'm going Denver.
How about you, Ray?
Lions, Texans, Jets, Denver.
Why don't you guys like Denver? I like it.
Well, I like their throwback.
Well, I'm not even counting that. I love that.
It's boring. To me, it looks a little boring. Like, I put it to you this way, man, Ryan. You bring it up all the time about the uniform change. Remember when the Denver Broncos new uniforms came out?
Yeah.
The orange stripe that started on the jersey and carried through on a curve to the pant. And then the Broncos, like they changed the Bronco. It became a strong, looked like Shannon Sharp, to be honest. It just came and it took over the league. It changed it. It did something to you. It was a pop. This one's not that. So when I look at it, maybe it is a nice uniform. Maybe it will be better when you see it. But it didn't do what that jersey did to me in '96 when they changed. And then they went on and started doing the salute and you went to Super Bowl. It just didn't have that effect. Is that fair to say?
Can I add one new NFL story that just came through?
Yeah, of course.
The NFL is going to allow players, if they choose, to wear the Guardian caps over their helmet for the game.
Oh, wow.
You know, like they do in the
preseason
in practice.
Yeah.
But will they be color-coded to the helmet?
No.
Like Mark Kelso back in 1991 for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
He had that helmet, and it looked like it was extra padded because it was.
I don't know. Yeah, it's
wow.
interesting.
You know what? I'm good with that. I'm
Love
totally good with that. If a player wants to do that and protect his noggin, I'm all in.
Absolutely.
Now, here's what I say for Braylon till the end of the week.
Pete.
I saved this for Braylon to the end of the week. I had to play it. Antonio Brown has got a podcast.
Lord have mercy.
And he brought Tyreek Hill, who is a father of 10, by the way. How many did he have this year alone, kids?
3.
This year he
4,
had.
I think.
He had 4 kids this year.
This year.
It's only April.
He's been listening to Nick Cannon too much. Stay away from Nick Cannon.
Let's listen to AB and Tyreek Hill.
Do I have to?
You have to because they're going to talk about wide receivers. Enjoy.
Cheetah, being the #1 receiver, and you've been at it for almost a decade now. You done seen players start off fast, start wheezing in the back. Let's talk receivers. You know what I mean? You an elite receiver. Oh, here go the list right here. First guy, I'm going to ask you, is he all right? He's all right. He's all right. Yeah. Devontae Adams, is he all right?
He lit.
What was Devontae Adams' stats this year?
He went crazy. He had like 1,300 for.
He's all right. He's all right then. What about Michael Thomas? Is he all right?
He lit. Then you ask me, bro. Don't try to make
This is not a point of finger game. This is
bruh.
is he all right?
He lit,
Can you
bro.
give me Mike Thomas stats, please? She just say he lit. Like a light or a lamp?
He lit, bro.
Is he all right? Is Mike Thomas all right? What's the big screen? What's the stats on Michael Thomas?
What we got?
He's not all right.
What we got?
He's not all right. Is he cut right now? Mike Thomas, we here for you, Michael Thomas.
He lit, bro.
No, Cheetah, we been for real. We not
2016 draft, man. Me and Mike T, second round, I'm fifth round. Let's get it, baby. Mike T, we lit.
pass him up.
Who?
Mike T.
What you mean?
It's a competitive game, Cheetah. We all competing now. We're not here to. You got drafted. You went fifth round. I'm a sixth round player. As a late round player, we feel like these guys wasn't better than us, Cheetah. Could we be real?
Who the highest paid right now?
Cheetah.
There we go.
But you could say that you're better than these guys now, Cheetah. I'll say it for you.
Yeah, you
Michael
say it for
Thomas,
me.
you got Cheetah pass you up. Fifth round pick, late round picks, we passing guys up. Sorry. Small school guys grind harder. Could you attest to that, Cheetah?
Yes. Yes. JUCO, small school guys. Let's get it.
Okay, let me ask him about another receiver because this is the top 5. Is he all right?
Okay.
Jalen Waddle. Is he all right?
Oh, he lit.
Where was he in the big game, Cheetah?
Bro, come on, bro.
Cheetah, I'm not saying answer for Jalen Waddle. This is the segment. Is he all right? I'm saying, is he all right?
He lit, bro. My brother lit, bro.
Is he lit?
He lit, bro.
Pull up his stat. Let me check. Is he shitty or what?
Oh, you already got his stats up here.
Yeah, we looking at the numbers.
What he had?
He's all right? Is he all right?
He had 1,000.
He's all right.
He's all right.
Nah, that's a good tandem. I like you playing with him. Y'all explosive. That's Miami 305. That's
come on now.
Explosiveness. I love you guys.
The Mark boys.
I love my fellow wide receivers.
They lit.
Maz, I love you too. Ever since Vontaze Burfict hit Antonio Brown, he has not been the same. Like, he has not been the same. Like, Vontaze Burfict is no longer in the league for the type of hits that he put on guys, including Antonio Brown. Now, with that being said, he's going after people, and that's what you do in these podcast space. And this is why you can't let your guard down in these podcast space as a current player, because they will relax you. They'll get you on there and make you even say something about your teammates. So Tyreek Hill, he answered it the way, very political. He played the game the right way, but I don't mind AB stirring the pot. Like, those are some controversial questions.
Right.
Now, that was fun. That's the Vontaze Burfict effect.
He's all right.
That's a good song.
Maz loves that. He's all right. That's about as funny as I've seen Antonio.
Yes.
Brown. I mean,
I kind of like it because
it's Rick James.
To me, he's becoming back to normal almost.
He's more nice instead of mean and vicious.
He is.
All right, guys. You want to do NBA or NHL first?
NBA. How about those Lakers?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me get there. I thought Maz would pick NHL, so I had the NHL board up.
All right, NHL.
Nope. Now I'm got the NBA. So last night, Magic, Sixers, and Nuggets.
I hit them all. You asked me.
You?
You asked me, and those are my 3 winners.
All right.
Remember, we were going, Bray,
Magic,
you picked the Knicks, Bray.
Sixers,
I did.
Nuggets. And then tonight, we've got just one series. Dude, there's a 5:30 game?
I guess because of the draft?
5:30 on ESPN. Bucks and Pacers.
How important is the NFL draft?
Right. Indiana is a 6.5-point favorite against the Bucks.
They beat the Bucks in Milwaukee already. You got to take the Pacers at home, the whole court.
Pacers at home? You taking the Pacers?
Yeah.
I just haven't seen it out of Tyrese Halliburton. I just haven't seen it out of Tyrese Halliburton. I'm going with the Bucks.
All right.
Clippers on the road, a 4.5-point dog. Series tied 1-1 against the Dallas Mavericks.
Clips are in Dallas?
Clips are in Dallas. Dallas is a 4.5-point favorite.
Kyrie night. It's Kyrie night.
I'm taking the Clips.
Okay.
So Kyrie. I said Kyrie. You're taking.
I'll never pick Kyrie.
Suns down 0-2, 4.5-point favorites against the T-Wolves.
Suns are done.
Lock of the night, Minnesota.
Suns are done.
KD with a miracle game.
All right.
KD with a miracle game.
Okay, let's go to the NHL.
Wait, before that, we got to talk Lakers.
Okay.
They lose again last night, 112-105.
Is that the 11th
That's
straight?
11 straight to the Nuggets. They came in as a hot team, Bray. Ryan said it, don't win that play-in game. You're going to be doomed. They win the play-in game against Zion, the Zionless Pelicans, and they meet their match against against the Nuggets. You can't come back from 3-0.
They tried not to win that game, but C.J. McCollum was nowhere to be found, and neither was Brandon Ingram, talking about the Lakers and the Pelicans. But at the end of the day, this team is too good. What we've talked about is teams pick up the pace in the playoffs. So a lot of these teams that finish hot, a lot of these teams are really good in the regular season. They're not the same teams, and the teams that kind of chill and relax. they turn it up a notch. This is the team that won the championship last year. You saw Aaron Gordon turn up. You saw Michael Porter turn up. And then we know who Jokic and Jamal Murray are. So this is the reigning defending champ for a reason. And they're doing what they're supposed to be doing.
All right, guys, NHL.
All right.
There's 4 games tonight. 3 of the series are tied at 1 game apiece. The only game that is 2-0 right now, Rangers up 2 games to none in the series at Washington tonight.
It's Washington's last stand, but the Rangers have had their way. 2 tough wins for them. I say the Rangers go up 3-0.
Ray?
I'm going to agree with Maz on this. I'm not going to be foolish.
Nashville got a split on the road in Vancouver. They're back home now, Nashville and Vancouver.
I'm going with the Canucks.
I'll take the Preds at home.
Okay. Jets at Avalanche. Series tied at 1 game apiece.
I'm making the Jets pick tonight, man. I got the Jets hat on tonight, so I got to go with the Winnipeg Jets.
Me too. I'm taking the Jets.
Okay.
Boom.
Oilers, we love their manager.
Their manager's my
we
man.
We love their manager, Ken Holland.
Best player in
we
hockey.
love you, Kenny.
Connor McDavid.
Oilers and Kings
Leon
tied
Draisaitl.
at 1. L.A. returns home.
I'm going Connor McDavid.
Me too.
And
Give me the Earlers.
The Earlers.
And I want to give a shout out to the great Bob Cole, right?
Oh, God bless him.
Bob Cole passing away. I think we mentioned him yesterday. I'll mention him again today.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the great voices of all time. I'm talking in any sport. Nobody better than the great Bob Cole, and it's all Detroit here.
All Detroit.
That's right.
All Detroit. All right, gang. Bray, get us out of here. What a week it was.
What a heck of a
Draft show tonight.
What a heck of a show. Tune in tonight. You will see your boy draft for the New York Jets. This is last night.
Yes.
This is the fam, the
What do
girl.
you got, pick 60?
Oh,
pick
yeah.
72.
72?
Pick
Now,
72.
wait a minute. What's your deal tonight now? What do you got to go do?
So basically, you're headed back to the hotel now, probably relax a little bit, but then the shuttle leaves to go to the NFL, the draft actually, the big where you see all the people, the sea of people. But we'll be back in the green room where the family and the draft picks are. So we'll be back there hanging out, and they'll call my name eventually, and I'll come up there. Give the crowd a roar.
Oh, yeah. Hey, remember me, Braylon?
Nah, I can't. We don't have long, so
Shout out to Maz.
I feel like I got to go up there.
What are you
Like I
wearing?
said, so what? Blue suit, green tie, and represent the Jets. So I got a Michigan pin, so I got a little hint of the maize and blue. I got 3 things I got to say. Detroit, what up, though? I got to say I can't believe Michigan won that championship site. Yes, I do. And then with the 72nd pick, the New York Jets select. Dun, dun, dun.
And you know
There it
what?
is.
The Lions
In
were
and out.
supposed to be right behind you, but they traded it to the Dallas Cowboys.
Because they were smart. If you're going downtown, be smart, be safe, have fun, enjoy the experience, man. Last night it was great. Today it was great. It's going to be even better tonight. Get downtown. Hey, when will the draft be here next? We don't know. So get down there.
Hey, say hi to my daughter Lily if you're in Hart Plaza.
Silent
take good
Mike.
care of you.
Pete, hell of a show by you, brother. I see you working hard back there.
Appreciate you. You know I love you guys.
Yes, sir. Maz, Ryan, Ermanni.
Love you, man.
We'll see you
Magic
guys later,
Mike.
man. Go Jets. Hey.
Hey.